Hey there viewers, I'm Strawbearry Stabwound, and I had a lot of fictional crushes as a kid. However, I didn't really conceptualize the fact that they were crushes until I grew up and I really thought about it, especially because lesbians were never, or at least very rarely, were shown on TV. So whenever I saw Shego and Kim Possible on screen a little too close together, I thought their friendship was what made me nervous, not the fact I really wanted them to kiss. Something about cartoons made me feel safer about how I felt about women, I think. Like, I really liked all the cartoon women I saw, and I blamed it on the art style, or because they're cartoons, it doesn't count. I swear, being gay and not knowing what being gay even is exhausting and still is for a lot of people. Did anybody else have that thing where you just try to justify it by saying she's just pretty, and you want to look like her, or that you look up to her? Because I did. All the time. However, that only lasted in elementary school because right as middle school hit, I had my first official girl crush, and it was my first step into understanding myself. And then I met my wife, and we've been together ever since. That's right, my wife was literally my third crush ever, and we've been together since middle school. But teasiness aside, if you watch this channel, I bet you've had a bunch of cartoon crushes. I don't lie, it only makes sense. You like to draw? You watch our videos? Yeah. You think cartoon characters are cute. Unless you aren't interested in anybody. Then that's still valid too, but nonetheless. Before I officially start the video, I have a question for y'all. Have you ever had a crush on your own OC? I'll answer that question at the end of the video, but spoiler, I might have. None of these crushes are super niche, but I'm gonna put them in the order of the most fan art I've seen of this character to the least amount of fan art I've seen for this character. So, starting off strong is Shego. After the goth girl from Total Drama Island, I would say Shego is like the second most predictable cartoon crush. Also, I'm gonna say this, in the total drama age, I was a Courtney girl. Through and through, I admit it. I'm really sad though, because when I was a kid, I shipped Shego and Kim Possible so hard, but I looked up their ages a few months ago or so, and Shego is estimated to be age 26 up to early 40s. What? Excuse me? 20s make sense to me, but 40s is absolutely absurd in my opinion. I don't know, it just, because like the moms and stuff and the grown people had like wrinkles and stuff, you know, like at least the eye wrinkles, but she didn't really have anything. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, that's obviously no. So instead, I'm gonna think that Shego finds another arch nemesis that's an appropriate legal age and fall in love with her. I love all the fan art I see of her, but one thing I wish people did differently is that they never make her look angry. She always has a pretty scowl on her face, and like, obviously people are allowed to do what they want with their art. I'm just saying my opinion. I just wish people weren't so scared to make their characters look emotional out of the fear of them not looking pretty enough. This is more common amongst feminine characters, but I've seen artists draw a grown grizzly man as if he's half the age he really is, and with no body hair, and also now he's super skinny. I personally just don't enjoy that. So, in my version, I want her to look genuinely pissed off because I know for a fact she wouldn't hold back a scowl because she'd be scared of looking ugly. No. She knows she's hot, whether she's smiling or not. I made her a little thicker because I don't think she'd be super tiny, especially with all the gymnastics and shit she does. I think she'd have a bit of muscle. Also, when I was looking up gymnasts, specifically women, a lot of them have wider shoulders and tiny hips, so I felt that was fitting as well. Also, as an artist, I don't really like to exaggerate super tiny waists. It just looks odd to me, because ever since I was little, I always thought about like where their ribs are, though once again, if it's your art style and you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. That's just not what I like to draw. I wanted to make her hair look both messy and put together, because from what I remember of the show, that's pretty fitting for her character. So I tried to only have like a few strands of hair out, especially because in this scene she looks pissed the fuck off. When I was younger, I thought she was Asian, so I kind of tried to make her look Asian here. I don't think I did, but I'll keep working hard on understanding how to represent different people better. I made the back of her hair green and then added some orange accents and mixed it together just because I think it adds some character, and the orange is obviously for Kim Possible because of her hair color and their enemies and all that jazz. I made her eyes a dark green with orange accents because, once again, Kim Possible, her arch nemesis. At the end, I almost forgot her green acid thing on her hands, but luckily I remembered. I was like, oh yes, I'm done, and then I looked and I was like, shit. At the end, I was so pissed at myself because I decided I was going to paint over the line art I did. And even though I love how it looks, I wish I didn't take the time to do all that line art if I was just going to go over it. I added some Spider-Verse dots. I don't like the comic ones. I don't know what they're called. Fix the lighting and do the background, and here it is. Here's her original design. And here's my fan art. She's just so... Ugh, I love her. Next is Korra, a beloved by character that deserved way more actual queer build-up. I feel like she is a very common cartoon crush as well, but specifically only for queer women. The only reason she's not super popular is because of the split opinions of her show, which I will not go into because that is just too much. I go into this argument with my brothers all the time. I don't need to get into it in the comments. The Legend of Korra came out when I did, and boy did it impact my taste. First season Korra made such an impact on me. I just love how aggressive and dumb she was. She really opened up the herbo-loving side of me, which yes, makes sense, because my wife is a total herbo. Something that was a huge deal for me was a brown queer cartoon character as a main character. I don't really think I made her buff enough, but I think I got the gist of it. There's always things to improve and get better at. If you didn't know, Korra is Inuit. I hope I'm saying that right. That's how I've heard it, which means she's indigenous. So I wanted to give her some indigenous features, such as their beautiful high and sharp cheekbones, and they have a certain line around their eyes. Here's an example. I can't think of the name. A lot of them also have monolids, so I tried to do the best with what I had. If I didn't get anything perfect, I am sorry. I'm learning, but I just wanted to make that clear. I was scrolling for so long, and this is what I came with. I hope this is okay. Though, once again, obviously they won't all look the same. I feel like she would have these features just based off of her design and how she already looks. When I started this drawing, I was gonna skip the line art and go straight to a no line art kind of look. That went down the drain and I really didn't like it, so I then went back and drew in some line art, skipping the hair because I actually like how the hair usually looks when it has no line art. I think it's just more fitting, especially if the hair is a darker color. I used this photo for reference and I really enjoyed doing it. Actually, fun fact, I drew Korra fan art all the way back in 2021. Here it is in all its orange, full anatomy glory. I will admit, looking at that compared to my new one, I feel very proud of my growth. Also, don't scare my old art. But anyways, always look back at old art to see your growth. Sometimes it feels like your art hasn't improved, but when your growth is steady, you won't even know you grew until you actually look at old art. The warning, don't do it too often though, because then it can kind of put pressure on you to grow, and you could just end up not having as much fun with your art anymore because you're constantly comparing. I feel this is something to do maybe once every like 6 months or every year, but do not do this like every day, because then it can completely it can stunt your growth because you kind of put so much pressure on yourself and you're like, oh well, this drawing looks worse today, or this drawing looks better tomorrow. And growth isn't always steady, it's always up and down, but you're still always going to be growing, whether it be in your style, your anatomy, your coloring, something like that. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. Sorry for that ramble. It's just very important to me because I have gone through so many hardships with my art, and people don't really tell you that growth does not mean the same thing for everyone. You know, I've gotten better at stylization and anatomy and coloring, and then other people, they don't focus on coloring, but their stylization and their anatomy gets even better. It really just depends on the person, so you're always growing, give yourself more credit. I love to draw how characters smirking. If you guys follow my Instagram, I draw like my OC Nara smirking all the time. I can't help it, it's just so good. It's so fun. And it's so good, which is honestly why I chose this reference photo to redraw, because she's smirking, she's got the head tilt, you know, she's crossing her arms. It's just too good. You know what? I am a useless lesbian, and I'm willing to admit it. I really like doing the backlighting and the background for this. Well, for all of them, really. I actually did a background for every single one of them, which was so fun. I love doing backgrounds. I don't do them a lot, though, because it's something that I'm not great at, but when I do them, it just boosts my mood. I love learning new things in art. And because I've been making YouTube videos, I've just been pushing out art, and my art style has been really steady, which is great. But for me personally, I want to learn with every drawing and I want to experiment. And lately I've been kind of feeling stagnant with my art. So I thought drawing some backgrounds and using professional references from these shows would really help me, and it did. I think you guys should do this sometimes. And if you do use your own characters, always give credit. But I've been drawing more in the past few weeks than I have in years, and because of that, I want to keep improving in my art and videos. Y'all, I drew 7 things in 2 days, and I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but for me that is. Because before, it took me almost a week or 2 just to get 2 things out, and now I'm just I'm creating so often, and it's awesome. I'm really happy with that, so thank you guys for giving me that opportunity. Okay, rant over. Here's the original, and here's my fan art. I think I did pretty good, and it was nice to look back at my old fan art and seeing how I've grown, and I know that younger me would have fawned and swooned over my fan art for now. Intermission time! This is a segment of my video where I ramble about something unrelated, though today it will be related, but please get up, stretch your body, stretch your wrists, and get some water and enjoy. So for this intermission, I thought it would be fun to tell you guys 5 or more 6 or 7-ish honorable mentions of my cartoon crushes. I will first list them, then give some reasons as to why. Evelyn from Incredibles 2, which I wrote her name as Helen instead of Evelyn, so I'm in the first take, but no, it's Evelyn from Incredibles 2, Shell from The Road to El Dorado, Mirage, I think, from Incredibles, Courtney, Heather, and Lashana from Total Drama Island. Evelyn is a mess, and her chemistry with Helen was just so attractive. Their conversations were so witty, and the sexual chemistry and tension was amazing. Also, I love women who look like they haven't slept in years. Shell just has a really charismatic personality, and I love curvy women, simple as that. Though from what I remember, her character and the whole movie overall are painfully offensive. So I'm gonna dock about 100 billion points from that. Mirage from Incredibles because I loved her class and how she handled herself, and there's just something about her walk that I really liked as a young lesbian, and even like now. In all respect, okay, with all the respect, I just love how she's classy, she holds herself, she's so professional but still like kind, and when she helped the Incredibles dude, a strong guy, whatever his name is, I don't care. Yeah, when she helped him, I loved her for that. I was like, are you for me? I liked the idea of Courtney, like the tension and the controllingness, but other than that, I know in real life I would absolutely hate her. Heather was the same. I love when a mean girl is open about being mean and isn't fake about it, though once again, this is only in theory and in media. When you in real life, no, me and her would not get along. Lashana because she's intelligent, a girl's girl, witty, kind, and also she totally deserved that win. Fun fact, if you guys didn't know this, my wifey told me this, I love you. If she's wrong, don't blame me. But anyways, Lashana actually was going to win season 1, but what happened is the voice actress, something happened to her. She like got hurt and she had to go to the hospital, so they weren't able to do it because she wasn't able to like do her voice lines, because then after that she was just stuck in the hospital. So then they I think they did a poll on who people would want to win or something like that, and it was like the bigger white guy, I don't remember his name. Was it Kevin? No. Kevin. Jonathan. It was a white boy name, but nonetheless, yeah, so that actually, she was actually planned to win. She was supposed to win, but because of something awful and like sad, which I think she's okay now, that happened to the voice actress, she didn't. Man, I wish they would have just waited. I would have waited years just so Lashana got the win that she deserved, because if I'm right, I don't think she won any other season after that. Hey babe, did Lashana win any season after 1 or no?
No, she was supposed to win season 1.
Yeah, no, she didn't win any, and me and my wife are both very upset about that. In the comments, another thing for y'all, another prompt, tell me either your favorite cartoon crush of yours or your most embarrassing. You can choose. If enough people comment theirs, I will comment mine and I will pin it. Okay, I will pin that comment so all of you can be as mean and shame me as much as you want. As long as at least like 10-ish people comment their most embarrassing, I will also admit my flaws. Oh, also, one I have now, like a me now one, is Savika from Arcane. Okay, she deserves more love. Like, yes, Vi is cool, but like, look at Savika. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay, intermission over. So I don't think this one is super niche, but when I tried looking up fan art for it, I barely got any results. And it's the lifeguard from Lilo and Stitch. I have so much to say about her because Lilo and Stitch is such an integral part of my personality. As I've said, I'm mixed, and I look most like my Filipino side, and you guys would not believe the amount of people who have mistaken me for being Hawaiian. And when I was little, I didn't really know the difference, and so all I saw was little girl Lilo who looked just like me. And as I grew up, I saw a big sister that looked just like me, Nani. And now, as a grownish woman, all the women in Lilo and Stitch have the same body as me, and that once again has positively impacted how I see myself. Seeing a woman with hip dips, big thighs, and stomach fat is just so rare, especially in animated media, and Nani as a character contributed to going against that. They definitely aren't like chubby or anything, they are mid-sized, and I definitely think we do need 100% more bigger people in media. It's just in the early 2000s, that was huge. Like seeing a girl with hip dips and like thick thighs, you know, even sometimes now it's like, it just makes me feel so like good about myself because like we don't see that. Though we still need more body type representation. She's not like the most diverse body we've ever seen. It's just nice to see like a mid-sized woman when I feel like sometimes, especially in the early 2000s, we just did not get that. And even though like I wasn't a kid with hip dips, because I saw a woman that looked like that and I grew up to look like her, I didn't really have a lot of problems with myself because Nani was like so etched in my brain. Lilo and Stitch is honestly why I'm so passionate about representing different types of people, because even though I'm not Hawaiian, seeing characters with my skin color and my body type and my nose made the difference. Onto the drawing, I made sure to include her iconic hip dips, and I didn't really give her any body hair because I feel like she would totally wax daily or have like laser hair removal. Nothing wrong with that, it's just the vibe I get. I really wanted to make her features look accurate to her, specifically her big forehead, her wide set eyes, and her big nose, lips, and her slanted eyes and big eyelids. I think that's the best way to describe it. I think studying already defined characters is so important because I included struggle with a problem where I don't really experiment with unique features or ones we don't see a lot, you know, for example, wide set eyes, close knit eyes, big ears, super small ears, stuff like that. I really need to find more tutorials on how to experiment with different facial feature placements and stuff like that. Like some people's eyes are higher than others, some people have longer faces than others, and I feel like it's so important to actually see that, you know? I just think it's really cool, and like everyone looks different. Not everyone's eyeball are one eyeball away from each other. Some people's eyes are really wide set and look so cool, and like some of them are really close and that's really cool. You know, I just feel like that's really important to know. And honestly, I just think it's so interesting, and I think it's super important to take the time to draw and represent different types of people. Though once again, you don't have to. Just me as a person, I think it's important and we should do it because it makes such a positive impact on not just ourselves but others. Her hair was kind of killing me because I didn't really line it properly, so I had to go all the way back, fix the liner, and then recolor the hair after I did it. The background was pretty simple, and I had used basic shapes to define it, and then I used Gaussian blur to make it look further away from her. I did that for most of these drawings. I actually did it for a TikTok that I made as well, where I drew the background for my characters. And it's also really good if you don't want to like take the time and just like have yourself be stressed out over it, because you still finished a background. It doesn't have to be super detailed. You did it, and you should be proud of yourself for that. Just use Gaussian blur and everything is fine. Also, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Oh god. Guys, I swear I'm not dumb. I'm just bad at pronouncing things, okay? Also, I completely forgot about her watch to the middle end of the drawing. Oops. I don't usually color light colored hair, so it was definitely a struggle for me, and I really want to work on it as I go through this channel because there's gonna be more characters with light colored hair. I'm gonna have commissions with light colored hair, and I gotta learn what the hell I'm supposed to do with that. So, here's the original, and here's mine. And now, just for a few seconds, here is some close-ups while I talk. I'm really proud of this. I think I not only got their personalities shining in my fan art of them, but I think they all look super different. Also, the fact I did backgrounds makes me very proud of myself. Thank you guys so much for watching, and for the support as always, go follow my Instagram at Strawbearry Stabwound, and if you don't want to type that out, the link is in my bio. Please subscribe if you enjoy this video. My commissions are open, and I hope the rest of your day is pretty fun. Bye-bye! Okay, this whole end, I'm just improvising. I honestly was not really proud of my last video. I kind of like want to take it down because I like the part with me and my girlfriend, but I just feel like I talked too fast. I kind of slurred over my words, and the art part was only 10 minutes. It was really short, and it sucks because when I made that video, what happened was the audio got screwed over, so I had to re-record it really fast, and I was already editing and like rushing, and I'm just not proud of it. But to the people who still take the time to comment and stuff like that, I recognize all of you guys' usernames, and it means the world. Thank you all. I hope that this video, it was easier to understand me. I tried better to like take my time with how I talk, because I think I talk too fast, you know? I've been like, sometimes I'm told like that I talk in 2x speed, or when we did popcorn reading for class, people would like gasp because I talk so fast. It's definitely my like, one of my ADHD things that I sometimes need to recognize, but thank you guys so much. I had a lot of fun with this. I know this isn't one that I said I would do. It's just, I really needed to do something for me. The My Little Pony video didn't really have as much passion as it should have had in it. So this one, I took the time to just draw what I wanted, and I hope that that will be enough for you guys. Not in a bad way, I hope you guys will still like this. Thank you all so much. Okay, hope you smile today, drink water. Bye-bye.